Good morning again, everyone. So, here Panchil Academy present online lecture for class 11th accountancy. Chapter number 3, accounting principles or concepts. Part 2, presented by Lokesh Bhana. Here on this screen, we have, in first part, we have already discussed several principles. I expect you have already go through it. Now, we are moving to our second part. Second part, first of all, these are the principles which we are going to cover. Full disclosure principle, accounting principle, prudence principle, historical cost principle, matching concept, dual aspect principle, and one more. Revenue recognition, not written here, but it will be covered in the upcoming slides. So we are starting with full disclosure principle. Full disclosure means what? According to this principle, complete and understandable reporting on the financial statement of all the significant information. Those information which are significant must be pointed. Remember, significant information and disclosure of material information will result in better understanding. Whatever the material information means those information which are important for the organization or enterprises, which is material important. For example, the reason for low turnover should be disclosed. If any company is selling the goods, every year it is selling a good amount of goods, but in 1 year there is low turnover, then what we have to do? We have to disclose it. And what reason behind it, that also we have to disclose. That comes under full disclosure. Remember everyone, full disclosure means complete understandable reporting on the financial statement of all the significant information. Second, we are moving toward the materiality principle. Materiality principle, if an item should be regarded as material, if there is a reason to believe that knowledge of it would influence the decision of an informed investor. What do you mean by it? I have read all these things, but remember, for example, I am making you understand the materiality principle that if an organization, see here on the screen, if a company have the turnover of 5 lakh, then so if the company have a turnover of 5 lakh, then turnover means sales. Wait a minute. So the company gives a 5 lakh turnover. Then if it is spending repairs or extra amount of 5,000 rupees, then it is immaterial for it. But if 5 lakh sale and 50,000 rupees of repair, then it will be a material amount. Okay, as the same example, if a company having a 10 crore rupees of turnover, then 2,50,000 material for it. But if the company has the 15 lakh turnover, then it is not material for it. So the materiality also depends on your turnover. If you have a large turnover and a small amount of repair, then it is immaterial for you. But if you have the less turnover and you are spending a large amount on repairs, then it will be material for you. Material depends upon the situation. If an item, once again I am reading this, remember, if an item should be regarded as material if there is reason to believe that. What if there is reason to believe that knowledge of it should influence the decision of informed investor. So in my point of view, remember this, that materiality differs for every company. Okay? Prudence principle. Prudence. I have a lot talk about prudence. Prudence says, do not anticipate a profit. It says, do not anticipate a profit but provide for all the possible losses. Explanation from my side. If a company is saying that in future it have some losses, it may have some losses, that it must have to book it in its book of account. But it anticipates that nearby I get a profit, then it's okay, no need to record it. That says by prudence. Means record all the losses, possible losses, but not need to record the profit. Losses will be there, then record it immediately, but profit is there, then anticipating the profit in your future. Take it easy, relax, no need to do a hurry. Okay? So that's done by that says by the prudence. Now, next concept. Cost concept or historical cost principle. According to this concept, an asset is recorded in the books of account at the price it acquired. If I have purchased a machinery at 10 lakh rupees, then I must record it at its cost. And I will depreciate it year by year. If the machinery I purchased at 10 lakh, after 2 years, it has the value of 20 lakh, market value of 20 lakh, then also I will not put it at market price. I will keep it its original cost. That says by cost concept, historical cost principle, that if you purchase any machinery now, fixed asset, keep at your original cost, purchasing price, the price at which it is acquired. No need to book at it market price. Right at the price at which you acquired it. And depreciation must be charged systematically. Last point. Read this. Depreciation is charged systematically. We have already talked about the depreciation in the concept. Now, second last term, matching concept. To determine profit periodically, basically to match revenue of the period with the expenses of the period to determine correct profit and loss of the accounting period. If we have to find the correct profit, then what we have to do is we have to match revenue of the period with the expense of that period, so that we can find out correct profit and loss of that accounting period. Matching. Okay, so that's why we have to match it. That's how the matching concepts work. Matching concept, second point, matching concept has the objective that financial statement gives true and fair view of profitability. That's why the matching concept serves that to give the true and fair view of company's profitability. Next, dual aspect principle. Dual aspect principle, over every transaction from general to balance sheet, this principle will work. dual principle. What it says? Every transaction entered by enterprise have two aspects, a debit and a credit. That we have already talked about in the concept. Every transaction will have the two aspects. One is debit and one is credit. For example, Rahul start business with capital. Here also two aspects is there. One is cash. Rahul started business with cash, business capital. So he have invested the money in business. So cash will increase. Cash will increase. And the liability of Rahul in the form of capital is also increased. So both the things are increasing. Capital is also increasing and cash is also increasing. Now the last part, revenue recognition concept. According to this principle, revenue is considered to have been realized when the transaction have been entered into, and the obligation to receive the amount is established. According to this principle, revenue is considered to be realized. Revenue will be realized when a transaction has been entered into and the obligation to receive the amount is established. For example, we will understand by example. Enterprise received advance money but sales made later. Then revenue is recognized later when sales made. If I received advance money, that doesn't mean that revenue, I will recognize the revenue. I will recognize my revenue only when the sale will complete. I will transfer my good to another party. That's considered revenue recognition. When a transaction entered into an obligation to receive the amount is established, they considered your transaction as a revenue. Okay. So this is our chapter. Third, accounting principle and concepts. So I think you have understood it well. So revise it again and again, and if you have any doubt, please contact to me. We will cover it in our next video lecture. Thank you.